Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinsel.
And if you may have noticed, last week we took a break, but don't worry, we will be reviewing Indianapolis as well. But before we get into all of that, let's get into our diecast of the week. Nick, let's start us off, bud.
All right, this is actually one that I've never shown on the show before. We're headed to Bristol on Wednesday for the All-Star race, so I thought I would bust out the 2012 Trevor Bayne We Back Pat for the legendary Tennessee volunteer lady basketball coach Pat Summitt. Trevor ran this car in 2012 for the Bristol Night Race for the Nationwide Series. He was fastest in practice. He sat on the pole for that race because I remember this was on my birthday weekend, so I thought I was going to see him win. And then he got wrecked out by Austin Dillon. So, yeah. Well, headed to Bristol. Trevor, the hometown kid. Wish he was racing in it, but cool diecast nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you could say that a lot when it came to Trevor's nationwide career. And he was wrecked out by Austin Dillon.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a common theme there.
Common theme there.
Oh, yeah.
Guy.
All right, boys.
Mike,
so we're going to Bristol for the All-Star race. We know Ryan Blaney is going to run the body armor car. So what better time to bring on my body armor diecast?
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
The number 12. This was before they changed over to the Mustang. It's still the Fusion. So a little older model, but I always thought the body armor cars were good. You guys know how I feel about Ryan Blaney's paint schemes. I'm not always the biggest fan, so he gets a couple really good-looking ones. You better jump on those diecasts.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And then they took PPG away from us and moved that over to Kozlowski this year, so it's like one of his 4 good-looking cars we lost. So,
Right.
Yeah. Oh, man.
yeah.
All right, boys. So for my diecast of the week, since we just came back from Kentucky, I had to bring out Kurt Busch's 2019 Kentucky win from when he beat out his brother Kyle in a dramatic overtime finish. That was absolutely incredible, and just what a beautiful diecast. The monster car is just always beautiful.
What was more incredible, Kurt winning or the after party?
Ian says, I don't remember that second part too much.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, bud.
Ian Jordan's debut in Jim Kinsel's backyard, and
that was fun.
He did not finish that. He's got a DNF due to a blown motor that day.
Yeah, right.
So I knew you were going to play that diecast, though, when we were coming out of Kentucky. I was like, I just knew in the back of my mind that's where you were going to go.
Oh, you know it, buddy. That was such a great win for Kurt. Just to beat out his little brother, and so cool.
Yeah, that was a super exciting finish to that race, kind of like we had this past Sunday, but we'll get into that in a bit.
Yep. All right, guys. So before we get into the show, make sure to listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor.fm if you're watching us on YouTube. And, of course, you can watch us on YouTube if you're listening to us on podcast platforms. So, all right, let's get into the show. So a few weeks ago, we were at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Xfinity Series race. We had Chase Briscoe winning in a thriller at the Indy Road Course. That was a lot of fun, boys. Seeing, we had Briscoe, Cendrick, Gregson, and Allmendinger running for the finish there. That was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's just I worry because that was such a good race, what the future holds for Indianapolis Motor Speedway and NASCAR. I'm afraid that they're going to move both series there, which I would not like to see, because I think the Cup guys put on a pretty good show. Even the Xfinity guys put on a pretty good show on the oval track. So I don't know. It was fun though. I'll give it that.
Oh yeah. And then on Sunday for the Cup Series, we had Kevin Harvick going back to back, winning his third Brickyard 400 after Denny Hamlin had a tire go down and he hit the wall real hard. That was absolutely crazy right there. And we were in the pool and I was whipping Nick back and forth with my hat. Oh man, that was crazy.
$50 down the drain right there in a matter of seconds.
Oh yeah. That was a crazy race when it came to tires getting blown left and right out there. I don't know if they just got the compound wrong or if it's one of those situations where they were putting a little too much camber in the tires or what, but it just doesn't seem like the Goodyears could kind of keep up with the track. So, yeah, really weird to see Denny, and that was a hard hit, too. I mean, man, once again, we saw a monster contact with the wall at Indy, just like seems like it's happened almost year in and year out now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Pretty hard ones that day. Yeah, but Indy never fails to put on a good show, so I really don't get why fans don't like that track, but
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, last 2 years, I thought it's been really good.
And,
yeah. As we know, the ratings were way up for Indy, so that moving into the July 4th might not have been the most popular weekend. Obviously, a lot of people love that being Daytona night race, as did I myself. But you know what? You can't argue with those results. So it worked.
Yeah, it worked. And Kevin Harvick got a win with that beautiful patriotic Busch beer scheme. You guys already know I pre-ordered that one.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even going to ask. I already knew.
All right, so let's get into Kentucky Motor Speedway, the first race of the weekend. We had the Xfinity Series race. It was the Shady Rays 200. And for the 5th time this season, we had Noah Gregson winning the pole from a random drawing. This guy, he's just got the best luck with that stuff, man.
Rigged.
Yeah.
And then right away, we got a caution on lap 1 for Jeb Burton getting loose in turn 2, getting into Brandon Jones, ending both of their days. As it looked like the track was just really, really dirty, and they just got into it, and Jeb just lost it.
Yeah, it just looked like, because the initial thought was, no, Gregson's got a problem right now, and Jeb Burton just was trying to correct himself, got up. Man, Brandon Jones had terrible luck because he completed one race out of the last 3 Xfinity races because he got wrecked on lap 1 at Pocono. He gets wrecked on lap 1 here. Yeah.
Not working out good for him, man.
Yeah, but yeah, Ian, like you said, it was one of those things where the drivers were talking about on their radios, and it was pretty obvious watching. There was a lot of, I don't know if I'd want to call it debris or what it was on the track, but it just did not look very, very race ready, I guess is a way to put it. That's one of those things I think definitely gets alleviated if we do have practice, because you got guys putting rubber into the track there. So a lot of positives have come from not having practice, but I think that was not one of them. That was one of the bigger detractors. You saw a guy like Jeb Burton, who's a pretty good driver, make I would say a mistake, I guess, but I would also kind of characterize it as more of a track deficiency than a driver error. So
right, like you were saying, it's a bunch of drivers that were complaining about it, saying how dirty it was before they went out and raced. And I feel like Kentucky should have done something about the track being that dirty, but can't fix that now. Captain Hindsight.
Well, they have the truck that has the tires on it, so they can like lay down rubber. I don't know if they have that at every track, and if they did, that would have made a lot of sense to use that to put a little rubber down on the track, because Lord knows it needed it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's true. All right. So we had Noah Gregson. He had some speed early in the race. He went on to win stages 1 and 2. And then we had a caution on lap 89 for Brandon Brown, getting a nudge from Justin Haley, and he got put into the wall. As Brandon Brown, he has been looking good with that underfunded team, and just that's a huge blow for him to end his day like that.
Yeah, I don't know. This might just be me, but ever since Justin Haley got that win, he kind of thinks he's running the show over here. He's been kind of getting a little cocky. His radio's been really – it's just like, really, dude? You got one win. You got it at a restrictor plate racetrack. Let's calm down here. Yeah, his attitude on his radio, I have not been impressed with.
Yeah, he's really shifted.
Getting a little – quote unquote big for his britches, really. He's kind of, like you said, Nick, trying to be the sheriff now all of a sudden, and he's gotten in a little bit of trouble trying to do that the last couple races. So maybe it's time to tone down a little bit and just get back to racing. Who knows?
Yeah, I'd say so. And we get a caution with 32 to go in the race. We get Ross Chastain. He's racing hard against Brett Moffitt. Puts him into the wall, and Moffitt wasn't happy with Ross at all, and it kind of looked like Brett wanted to take out Ross right there, trying to intimidate him a little bit. But, yeah, Ross Chastain just driving as aggressive as he can, as always.
Yeah, what more to say there?
Yeah. Right.
And then we had a caution with 14 to go. Colby Howard, he was running top 15 in this race. He was doing so well. He got a tire cut down from contact with Anthony Alfredo, and he spun out and hit the inside wall, brought out the caution. Man, what a great run. I've never really heard about this kid up until probably a few months ago. And he's up here running top 15 in the Xfinity Series with what? That's JD Motorsports, right?
Yeah, he's in the 15 car.
Yeah, good for him, man. But that's just bad luck right there.
He gave Anthony Alfredo the little,
yeah, the flappy hand.
Yeah, as it was affectionately called on Twitter, the flappy hand, which is pretty funny to see. But felt bad. Colby was kind of like the sweetheart of the first Xfinity race. You kind of heard him talking about. Was he 18 years old, coming out having a phenomenal run? Would have been really nice to see him finish, but what are you going to do? That's racing.
Yep, that's racing, and he's young, and that's what he's got to learn. That's going to happen.
Fredo after the race is what he did.
Yeah, he did not have pasta for dinner that night.
No. And then we get a caution with 4 to go. We get Harrison Burton getting loose from slight contact with Michael and that, both just kind of racing hard. Harrison Burton not having a lot of fun with junior motorsports cars this weekend, but we'll get into that later.
Foreshadowing.
Fun weekend with Michael and that this past weekend, but we'll also get into that later.
Yes. And then we had Austin Cendrick. He went on to win in NASCAR overtime for his first ever oval win. We were all doubting him. We all thought he couldn't do it, but he went and dominated. And yeah, he proved all of us wrong, guys.
Yeah, I did not like seeing that because now it's just like, well, now what do we have on him? He finally won on an oval track, and he looked pretty damn good doing it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call a spade a spade. He had a phenomenal weekend, phenomenal first race. I think he was the fastest car all race. Noah got the clean air early, and I think Noah was probably the second best car, but there was no beating Cendrick once he got up front and got that clean air. See you later, suckers. That was that.
Oh, no doubt. So, yeah, good for him to get his first win of the season, no doubt, locking himself into the playoffs. And then, guys, a little scary situation at the end of the race. There was an incident with Justin Allgaier and Ronnie Bassett Jr. They got into a little accident there, and then doctors in the infield examined Allgaier, and it kind of saw that his heart was a little bit irregular, so they took him to the hospital. And the next day, he was cleared. He was fine. He was ready to go race. So, a little scared for Allgaier. I didn't, they just said he went to the hospital. We didn't really know what was going on with him, but it was good to hear that it wasn't anything too major.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for Gator to see him back out there. I got very worried when the reports were coming out that it was a non-racing situation as to why he went there. That never really bodes well. So the fact that it was a very quick and easy thing for him to come back, I think that's the best. So glad to see him back out there on Saturday.
Oh, for sure. All right, boys. So let's get into the Allsco 300. It was the second Xfinity race of the weekend. This was on Friday. So we had Myatt Snyder. He won the pole from the field inversion. That was the second time that he's been able to do that with the field inversion. And then right away, we get a caution on lap 3 for Ryan C. getting loose into turn 2 and hitting the inside wall. We've seen this guy. He's really, really talented. He's been killing it with that 39 team, and it seems like he just ends up in bad luck.
Yeah, it's kind of been his narrative the past couple of races. He's fast, and then it goes away for him. Really unfortunate to see with a small budget, underfunded team right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we got Noah Gregson. He goes on to win stage 1. I believe that was his 8th stage win of the season. He has been killing it so far, and he's ready for the playoffs. Oh, Lordy. And then right away, right after that, Noah Gregson gets caught speeding on pit road, and he brings him to the back. It basically takes him out of contention because he just could not get out of there at all.
Hey, that's Kentucky, man. You get sent to the back. Good luck trying to get yourself.
Oh, yeah. I knew he was screwed right away.
I thought this was going to be deja vu again. Like, oh, here we go. Noah Gregson's going to go on and win stage 1 and 2. Late caution's going to come out. He's going to screw himself, but screwed himself early that night.
Yeah, screwed himself. The day before he kind of got screwed with some late race cautions, but that's normal for him this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after he gets caught speeding on pit road, we get Austin Cendrick. He went on to win stage 2. He's just got so much speed in that 22 car. It's absolutely ridiculous, guys.
It's like they
And
put
then we
jet
get
fuel in there.
what's that?
I said it's like they put jet fuel in there trying to pull a Michael Walker.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have any repeats of that anymore. We remember what happened to them after that.
Yeah.
They went bye-bye. And then we get a caution with 22 to go. We have Brandon Jones getting loose into turn one, racing hard with Daniel Hemrick. Almost hit Daniel Hemrick right there. That would have been just the story of Daniel Hemrick's career right there.
The story's coming in a little bit, but yeah, I was about damn near gonna have a heart attack, and then I didn't realize Hemrick still got into the wall after that. He saved it, and then he scruffed the wall, and I got saved by that caution right there. Otherwise, we were gonna have to pit. His tire was probably gonna blow, and then the heartache would have happened just a couple laps sooner than it eventually did. But yeah, for once, we did not get taken out.
And guys, we get Noah Gregson getting loose into turn three after racing hard against Harrison Burton, trying to keep position, trying to pass him, and just sends Harrison Burton right up into the wall. And little scuffle after the race, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Harry was not happy with Noah.
I wonder if Harrison Burton was mad. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah. Well, here's what sucks is like you just gotta realize that that's just not gonna work at Kentucky. He tried sending it deep down into the corner. The bottom of the racetrack is not the place to be. We saw it the whole race. 9 times out of 10, you try and do that, your car's gonna chase up the hill. So unfortunate for both of those guys for sure.
Yeah, they're just trying to race for position right there, trying to snag a check flag, trying to do whatever they can.
You can't pass here, so that's pretty much the only way you can do it. But yeah, it just wasn't executed well.
I mean, we saw a lot of slide jobs this weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then on the final lap, Michael Annett racing hard with Daniel Hemrick. Puts Daniel Hemrick into the wall, making him finish. What was that, 9th?
He still finished 9th, but if we remember on that last restart, we sent it in there. I thought we were going to damn near win the race. My bad.
Hey, watch your language, man.
But
Trevor Bain's already
for Nick.
I don't understand what's going on with Junior Motorsports and why their teammates can't run respectively around each other. We've seen it with Gregson and Allgaier, and now Michael Annett wants to do this with Daniel Hemrick. I really just don't understand it, because what happened is the same thing that Gregson did to Burton is what Annett did to Hemrick. There's just really no need for it. I get it. You're going for a position on the last lap, but cost us a top 5 run. Really disappointed because we had such a fast car all night.
Yeah. Well, the difference between Noah and Annett is considered a veteran. He's been racing for a long time, so he should kind of know better not to do that at this track. Noah, a little bit of a younger guy. He's still trying to figure out stuff.
Veteran. I won't even put him at that.
Yeah, that's why I went like that. But
quotes.
You would think that Michael Annett would know better, but it honestly goes to show his talent that he has.
Oh, yeah, the talent of his Pilot J sponsorship. Yep. Great.
That's about it.
Good race.
We haven't even finished the review yet because Austin Cendrick went back to back.
Even better. Austin Cendrick. Oh, yeah.
Won his second Kentucky race in a row on the same weekend. Just swept the weekend. Who would have thought that Austin Cendrick was going to dominate Kentucky? The road racer, the road ringer. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Nope.
Yeah,
None of us.
I wouldn't have guessed it, and I wouldn't have wished it on my worst enemy, but here we are.
Yeah, but here he is shutting us up.
So, but no, in all honesty, good for him. Kind of shed the moniker of he can only win on road courses, because not only does he get an oval win, he goes back to back on us and looked like the most dominant car both days. So hats off to you, 22. You did your job, man.
And then, guys, we had some fireworks after the race. Harrison Burton ran up to Noah Gregson after the race. He wasn't too happy with him. Talking to him, getting into his face a little bit. He gave him a shove, got into his face a little bit more, and then he gave him another shove, and then Noah had enough, and he punched him right in the face and just took him down and just looked like he just freaking beat his ass. And then a little bit after with the interview with Jamie Little, looked like Harry had a little shiner on his right eye right there.
So, Harrison Burton, you thought you wanted to smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You weren't ready for the smoke.
Hell no, buddy. Better
No.
get your boxing gloves on because
Hey, watch your language, man.
there's
You
my
can-
first F word.
You can argue, the racing incident, who was right, who was wrong, this, that, whatever. You can't argue who won the fight.
Yeah, so,
Harry got his
Oh,
clock
no.
cleaned
so
on that
in my
one.
mind, not only did Noah Gregson wreck this guy, but he beat his ass after the race. You didn't want that smoke. But yeah, that's what happens. You put your hands on the guys once, okay. You shove him again. He's like, oh,
All right.
You're
That's
asking
coming.
for it.
Yeah, he was just defending himself, and Harry got treated.
yeah.
Hey,
that must
good
have
for
been a
you,
very
Noah G.
interesting,
Putting him in the wall and then taking
meeting.
his lunch money in the same day. That's pretty sweet, man.
That's my boy.
That must
Pick
have
an
been a very
fake
interesting
name.
meeting at Junior Motorsports this afternoon.
Yeah, I wonder how that went.
I wonder what's going to come of that, though, because obviously, NASCAR's been a lot more lax with like the fighting and the altercations the last couple of years. But we know with the current state of the country with coronavirus, NASCAR's had to put in precautions as far as masks and keeping social distance from driver to driver. You guys probably noticed Noah didn't have his mask on. And obviously, if you can punch somebody in the face, you're not 6 feet apart. So I would
Bob
venture to guess
Cockris-
there's anything coming out, that's what it would be about.
Yeah, Bob Cockris tweeted that there was going to be like no fines or any issues with the fight. They said that they were just going to let it go. And
Good.
with no one not wearing a mask, Harry didn't give him any time to put it on.
Yeah. Well, that's true as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that being the way. I missed the tweet today, so no,
Okay.
that's good.
He
though.
actually
I'm glad
tweeted
there's
it on Sunday.
Oh, it was Sunday and I missed it. So
Yeah.
but no, either way though, I'm glad though, because I think again, we talk all the time about there being a lot of vanilla personalities in NASCAR right now, and this was a pretty controversial moment. You got a lot of your casual fans see something like that, and for right or wrong reasons, that makes them turn on the TV next weekend as well. So probably need a little more animosity in NASCAR as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And I think we're all kind of hoping for Harrison Burton, Noah Gregson rivalry right now. That'd do the sport well right now.
Oh yeah, especially too with they're two of the top drivers in the Xfinity series right now. So rivalry on the track, rivalry off the track. We'll get them in Barstool Sports Rough and Rowdy maybe too. Really to keep this thing going.
You know what would have been absolutely great if this was an NBC broadcast. Not only you got Dale Jr. for Noah Gregson, but you got Jeff Burton for Harrison.
For his
Jeff Burton's gonna watch his son get his ass beat on national TV.
Well, we got next week. NBC starts their full-time run for the rest of the season, so maybe we'll have a little bit of action between those boys. I want to see Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton fight it out.
Yeah. Oh, there's no contest.
Oh
my
man.
Oh god.
All right, guys. So let's get into the ARCA series. We're just going to mention Ty Gibbs. He went on to win at Kentucky, making that his fourth ARCA victory of his career, his second of the season.
Anybody surprised? No, I'm not.
I'm not, but this kid, he's got a lot of talent. A lot of people are going to be giving him crap because, he's Joe Gibbs' grandson, but damn, does he have some talent, boys. I'm excited to see what he does in the future.
Yeah, listen, for me, the silver spoon stuff only matters when you get to a level you probably wouldn't have been at otherwise. In a situation like this, I mean, yeah, the kid's going to get some advantages because he's Coach Gibbs' grandson, but he's talented enough. He'd have probably got there on his own as it is. So there's no real reason to hold that against him.
Right.
Well, him and Michael Self put on a hell of a battle in that race, too.
Yeah.
They were like the only two real competitive cars. Brett Holmes was looking good, too, but it was really Michael Self versus Ty Gibbs. And then they both had incredible saves when I thought they were both going for the fence, and then Ty kind of got a little retaliation. So, yeah, it was a good race between those two.
For once we actually had like a good ARCA race, and who knew it would come at Kentucky?
Yeah, that's not the place I would have selected, but hey.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the Truck Series race. It was the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225. We had Brett Moffitt winning the pole from a random drawing. And then we had a caution on lap 14 as Cody Robar Robar, excuse me, I always don't know how to say his name correctly. Cody Robar, as he gets loose entering turn one and slams hard into the wall. And I'm sure you guys saw for the past couple weeks, they've had that little sponsorship on to help the little boy that was drowning in the lake there. And he's in the hospital right now. So just sucks to see that team, crash with them trying to help out that family.
Yeah. One little quick thing to touch on too, before the race started, Ben Rhodes, I believe, was the other one, Matt Crafton, and one other driver all got sent to the back. Rhodes and one of his other teammates and one other driver also, I forget who was off the top of my head. I got to look it up. But yeah, they actually got sent to the back and docked 10 points for illegal modification. I think to something with the fuel cell.
Yep.
So,
oh man, I did not actually see that.
Yeah, so that's a little interesting story. I haven't seen too much follow up on it. I was kind of busy this weekend, so some of that kind of ancillary stuff I really didn't get to do too much digging in. So going to be interested to kind of look some of that up here as we get a little further into the week and maybe get a little further explanation. NASCAR releases a lot more of that information like Tuesday, Wednesday of the prior week or the week after. But that was a little disappointing to see. So gonna have to wait and see what more of the clarification is on that before you get too much of an opinion, though.
Right.
Yeah. All right, and then we had Zane Smith. He went on to win stage one, holding off Brett Moffitt. So that was a huge little victory for Zane Smith there, the rookie. And then Sheldon Creed, he went on to win stage two. He was showing lots of speed in this race. And then the race was called, rain was coming, and then they called it, and Sheldon Creed got his first ever Truck Series win. I mean, hey, it wasn't like how it was with Justin Haley where he didn't lead a lap under green. Sheldon Creed was leading. He was racing hard. He won stage two. He was showing lots of speed. I think he well deserved that win right there.
Yeah, he was due for a win. We always see Sheldon Creed running up front, so good for him. I mean, it's a rain-shortened win, but they don't ask how, they ask how many. So
exactly, and couldn't really help it because it was raining for the rest of the day too. So good for him.
As a Ben Rhodes fan, I was a little disappointed. I think he gave him a little too much room on that last pass to get the lead. I think had this race gone the distance, Ben had the better truck and likely would have gotten the win, barring any craziness. That seems to always happen to drivers I root for, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But no, but good for Sheldon Creed. Like you guys said, this was in a situation where he lucked his way into being the guy who happened to be in P1 when the lightning and the rain and everything came. He was one of, if not the best truck for most of the race there. So good for him. Good to see him get that win.
Oh, yeah. No doubt there. All right. So let's get into the Cup Series race. We had the Quaker State 400. And for the first time this year, we had Kyle Busch winning the pole from a random drawing. A lot of Rowdy fans were happy there.
That didn't last long.
No, it did not, because Eric Almirola, he passed him, and he went on to win stage one. And then we get a caution with 7 to go. We get Matt Kenseth kind of doing a self-spin after having a flat tire there, trying to get down onto the apron, trying to get out of the way, and spun himself out.
I know somebody wasn't happy about that caution.
Yeah, tell me about it. But hey, real fast before we get into that, just to clarify, to correct myself, I was doing a little research. Going back to the truck race, it was Johnny Sauter, Ben Rhodes, and Derek Kraus that all had to drop back and it was a filler panel rule as to what they got docked the points for. Again, need more clarification, but it wasn't Kraft, and it was Kraus. So just to clarify in real time while we're still filming.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So just to get back into the Cup race there, yeah, that caution really pissed me off. This is one of those rules, in my opinion, NASCAR's got to look at because, man, going on to win the stage there, Mr. Keselowski, that really was like the ultimate gift. So he was running 15th to 18th most of the race there at the end. They come for green flags. So not because of where his pit stall was, he's technically still the leader at the last loop of scoring. So not only does he inherit the lead, but he got to complete his pit stop. So he gets 18 positions the lead and ends up getting his lane choice and a stage win when he's running like 19th. Give me a break.
Hey, he was lucky. He was getting pitted when that caution came out, so it worked out.
That is more than lucky. That's an absolute Christmas present. That they got to look at in my opinion, at least, they got to look at that rule because, I mean, that is such a big advantage there. Guy jumps 20 spots with just pure fortune and gets to complete his pit stop.
Yeah. For
Yep.
sure.
Yeah, it worked out for him because he went on to win stage 2, holding off Ryan Blaney there. And then we get 96 to go, and we get Kyle Busch getting a little sideways in turn 4. He hits the wall with the rear of the car, but he kept going. That was a smart save by Rowdy, even though he didn't have the car all day. He was screaming on the radio that his car was broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, maybe a junk car, but he's still Kyle Busch driving it, so that save was pretty darn impressive. Awesome
he
to
could
see.
drive the hell out of the 53 car if he wanted to.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All righty, we get a caution with 37 to go, and Brennan Poole cut down a tire, and a piece of his crush panel was out on the track for debris. So they brought out the caution there, and Austin Dillon was attempting to go down pit road, and they flew the caution. He tried to get out of the way, spun himself out and hit the wall. Just kind of your normal Austin Dillon move.
I thought Austin Dillon was a veteran here. That was a rookie mistake if I ever seen one in my life. Oh my goodness.
That's no veteran.
Like somebody threw a banana peel on the track, Mario Kart style, and he hit it and just slid back up the track.
And we get a caution with 24 to go, and we get John Hunter Nemechek getting into the wall and receiving heavy damage.
Yeah, the rookies had themselves a good day. John Hunter Nemechek,
was not one of them.
Oh, yeah, because I had some choice words for him as this race went on from the 21 aspect when he damn near took us out. So, yeah, John Hunter, you're on my hit list today, bud.
We get a caution with 19 to go on the restart. We get Keselowski going low. Johnson tries to block him, and Johnson basically gets himself spun out by Keselowski. Keselowski did nothing wrong there. He was already going low for that 3 wide, and Jimmy was basically taking him into the grass. We heard Brad a few years ago say, I'm not going to lift for anyone anymore, and that basically shows he ain't lifting for no one.
Well, when the replay has Keselowski on the apron and Johnson's still coming down, it's nothing Keselowski could do at that point. So that one's on Jimmy right there. Did not care for his comments on Twitter after the race because that one was on him right there. He is a 7-time champion, but my goodness, the amount of mistakes that he's made since we've come back from the pandemic, it looks like he's a damn rookie out there because so many of these mistakes.
It's the second time in recent memory he's made like nonsensical comments after causing an incident and wanting to blame it on somebody else. You remember when him and Ryan Blaney got into it last year, and he's talking all that trash about Blaney not knowing what to say. Yeah, I wouldn't have known what to say either, for one, because you're coming to be blaming everything on me, and you're the one who caused it, moron. So maybe go look in the mirror on that one. But Ryan Blaney kind of chirp back at him in the media, and they squash it. They're friends now. But again, it's kind of same song, same story once again here. He runs the guy down into the grass, basically, is late down to get down blocking. It's 24 to go. Like, nobody's lifting for you in that situation. You put yourself in that position, dude. And then he wants to get mad at Kess for it. If the roles reversed, he'd have been doing the same damn thing. So I don't. You want to be mad about it, be mad at yourself.
Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, guys, just restart after restart. We're getting crazy racing here. Way different than what we had with our long green flag racing. Just the restarts at Kentucky are fun to watch.
That's what I'm saying. They should have just made it a 30-lap race because the other 237 laps were god-awful. And then the final 30 laps, we were like, oh, my goodness, this is a whole entire different race. It was awesome.
Yeah, Nick, I got to say I agree with you right there.
Yeah, I do too. Once again, you're laying down that much traction compound on the track to try to promote the racing, and I think all it did was hurt it even more because the secondary line, the middle line there was just so much better than anywhere else on the track. You couldn't run the low line competitively. You couldn't run above them competitively. It was a 1-lane racetrack in the middle of the race or in the middle of the turns. Just hardly any passing. It was just guys would just get to each other and just sputter out. It was this package does a lot of good in a lot of places. Kentucky is not one of them. I just thought it was a combination of bad package, not a great racetrack, and it's what you get.
Right.
Yep. And then with the crazy late race restarts, we had Kevin Harvick taking the lead, going 3 wide with Truex and Ryan Blaney there. Just what a freaking move.
Where'd he come from? Kevin Harvick was on his radio all day saying his car was terrible, and here he is going for the lead.
He was running top 20 all day.
We talk about dip restart moves.
Hey, watch your language, man.
Martin Truex is so upset that he got beat on the last scoring module to come out like 0.006 seconds behind Blaney to give up the lead. They come back to the restart. He's so damn worried about side drafting the shit out of Blaney's damn near sitting on Blaney's lap. He's side drafting him so hard.
Hey, watch your language, man.
I mean, you could have drove a Mack truck down onto the inside lane. I mean, Bozo the Clown could have took the lead the way he drove it there. So great move for Harvick to get down there and realize what was what. But Martin Truex, what are you doing? You screwed you and Ryan Blaney basically there.
Exactly. Yeah, and then we get a caution with 7 to go. Kenseth getting loose again, but he got spun by the 6 of Ryan Newman in turns 3 and 4 there. So setting up for more late race restarts. And we get 2 to go in the race. And on the restart, in the third row, we had Cole Custer getting a big push from Matt DiBenedetto, making a big move, charging to the front. And then with 1 to go on the front stretch, we had Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., and Cole Custer going 4 wide for the lead. Cole Custer taking it 4 wide. And we had Blaney getting a little loose there on the apron, and he kind of jumped that little area right there, and he got loose into Harvick, who gave Truex a tiny little bump, which gave Cole Custer just enough room to slide by, take the lead, and he held off Truex for his first ever NASCAR Cup Series win. Just absolutely crazy.
When Ryan Blaney came back up the track, I thought they were all wrecking. I thought he was coming back up the track, all out, but... Talk about right place, right time. Cole Custer getting a huge shot from Matt DiBenedetto right there. Part of me wishes the roles were reversed, but no, congratulations to Cole Custer because I've been kind of tough on him all year long. It seemed like all the other rookies were getting going, and here we go. Cole Custer 5th at Indianapolis, really started to get himself in the right direction. Here he is, took advantage of what was there, and he's now a winner. If you would have told me Cole Custer would have more wins and more playoff points than Kyle Busch does in the 2020 season, I would have thought you were nuts right now. And if you would have told me that Cole Custer was going to be the first rookie to win, no, from where he was running. But yeah, congratulations to Custer. That's huge for him right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a really exciting finish. He did a good job of putting the car where it needed to be to give himself an opportunity. A little fortunate because, again, if Ryan Blaney doesn't go Bo Duke and send it in their Dukes of Hazzard style and end up hitting everybody, they all go in 4 wide there, and he's above the traction compound probably. Don't know how that would have worked out for you. I got my money on really bad, but that's neither here nor there. You know, part of that is when you get in those situations, sometimes it's a little better to be lucky than good. And sometimes you make your luck by putting yourself in a position for things to work out your way. And he did a good job of that. He put his car in a spot that, things worked out well for him. So yeah, good race for him. Really, really exciting last 25 laps or so to kind of save what was a snoozer otherwise. So, yeah. Still not a great race by my standards. 80% of it was and the rest was a little bit more fun to watch. So maybe we need to look at adjusting what we run as far as Kentucky and how we try to make that track a little more competitive for the future.
Or just tear it down.
Go ahead, Ian.
Or just tear it down.
Yeah, that's what
Man.
Because, honestly here, even Kurt Busch winning last year, that race was only exciting because of that final restart. That race was not very good up until that late race restart. So you can do so much to the track, but if you're not going to put a good package on the racetrack and you're spraying down 75% of the track, like Mike said with the PJ1, maybe the track's just not good enough. I don't know. I would not be the saddest camper in the world if Kentucky was taken off the schedule, because I have not seen a very good complete race there. The last 10% of it, maybe because of all these late race restarts, because the restarts at Kentucky are phenomenal, but the whole race as itself, It's just not there for him.
Yeah. The only reason I'll give him a little bit of pass just for this year is, as you boys know, we traditionally do run this as a night race.
Right.
So we come in, it's a little bit of an outlier running this race as a day race. No practice again, so nobody's really got data as to how the cars are going to handle and what to expect for a day race at Kentucky. So with that being said, I'll give him a little bit of a pass, but things do need to improve there because, people talk about, Bubba kind of advocating for the Confederate flag to be banned in NASCAR and that being something that kills NASCAR. No, what kills NASCAR is boring races all the time. So, again, it's a sport. Not every sporting event is going to be exciting. But I think this is one where there's things that we could have done to make this race more exciting, and they didn't.
Oh, I totally agree with you there, buddy. All right, boys. So you got anything else to add before we end the show here?
Yeah, I got one little quick thing. Just want to say a very special thank you to you boys. This is my 1-year anniversary on the Stock Car Spectacle.
Oh, yeah.
1 year ago, I joined you guys to watch Nick lose his mind over Justin Haley winning, which was awesome debut. It made my job easy getting the first show under my belt because all I had to do was buckle in and enjoy the ride. So, yeah, thanks to you boys for having me on for a whole year, and here's to many more.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic year having you on, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, boys. So that will do it for the Stock Car Spectacle. We thank you all for watching. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
And guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and all other podcast platforms. And if you're listening to us, you can watch our videos on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms with Twitter and Instagram. Make sure to follow our good buddy Patrick Cotto with the Cotto's Mojo podcast. It's a great Chicagoland sports-based podcast. And make sure to follow our friends at Ashland Heddens Racing. They raced this past weekend at Grundy County Speedway. Ashland won the heat race, and then she went on to finish third in the main race. So congratulations to Ashland Heddens. Hope for many more W's. So that'll do it for the Stock Car Spectacle. Thanks for watching, guys.